Hi, everyone. This is Ami Diamond from SharePoint Wizard. Thank you for joining my show. And I would like to invite our honorable guest, Marco Rocca. And I've followed you so much. Can you introduce yourself and tell me a bit where you are, what you do, and what was your journey in IT?
Hello everyone, my name is Marco Rocca, obviously, and I'm a cloud solution architect in Microsoft Italy modern workplace domain. I work with SharePoint, but not only, I work with all Microsoft 365 collaboration platform, from Teams to Form, Stream, etc. But in the last years, I'm focusing also in Power Platform, App, Automate, and Virtual Agent, or now Copilot. Then that's our main focus area. I live in Monza, near Milano, where exists the Formula One circuit, and I work in Milan in Microsoft house office.
Wow, wow. Finally, I've been following you for a long time and I enjoy very much all of the content you share that you're allowed to share. And I noticed you're in conferences and all around. So I'm so happy that you accepted to join the show. And with me, I invited Enea as a co-host. He's master of Power Platform, and I got to know him in LinkedIn. And actually, Inea, you were the person that helped me start my YouTube channel, and you gave me lots of tips, and I appreciate that. But I know you are expert in Power BI and Power Automate, so can you say some words about yourself?
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Thank you for having me, first of all. And thank you, Marco,
Yes.
for joining us. My name is Enea Licaj. I know my surname is a bit difficult to pronounce, but just keep it Enea. I come from Albania, so I was born in Albania. I grew up in Greece. So I lived 11 years in Greece. And then in 2010, I moved to Germany. So now I've been almost more than 13 years in Germany. And I've been working in IT since I think 2015 or 16, something like that, after my studies. And I've always been in the Microsoft world. So from the beginning on with Teams. Back then, I used to work with Sky for Business a lot. Then Teams, user adoption, configuring Teams, and so on. And sometime around 2020, I discovered the Power Platform. So I moved to SharePoint and Power BI and so on and so forth. So I went through all the tools of the Power Platform. And so now I work full time as a Power Platform developer, so a business consultant. And my focus domains are, since the last year and a half now, Power BI, but I also do many or some Power Apps and Power Automate projects when it's necessary.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
about
you
me.
also have a blog and a YouTube channel, so
That's right. Yeah,
you
I also
can.
have a YouTube channel.
Oh,
Okay, great.
yeah, great.
Uh,
A,
so
a, a
so
typical a typical case where the student becomes better than the teacher, because Amy has done amazing job in his channel, also
well,
becoming an MVP and
Yeah,
so on. So it's
we're not
amazing to see
teacher
your
and
journey.
student.
I
We're
agree.
just
I fully agree with the UNEA.
Yeah.
thank
So
you,
it's amazing to see what you have
oh,
done, Amy, in such a short time. So congratulations also from my
thank you,
side.
thank you. Actually, as I said, I'm Ami Diamond from Israel, and I'm a SharePoint consultant. And all I did was I wanted to document some issues and share with the community all kinds of things. And I decided to record some things and just to post on LinkedIn. And all of a sudden, things grew and grew and grew. And the major point for me was to share with the community. And I'm so happy that people enjoy it. And that's why I can continue. I don't get any benefit from it besides happy that people are using their knowledge. So Marco, you are
Yeah.
here as our guest, and can you tell me actually what things do you do actually in Mark? What's your daily base? What do you do when you get to work? So,
Uh,
do you
I
do? Is your focus more in marketing or technical programming or?
No. I'm in a technical part of Microsoft. I work in the customer success and support unit. Then I work with all customers that have a unified um, contract with Microsoft. Then my role is a technical role, but during the evolution of the career path in Microsoft and with the evolution of cloud solution architect role, now my role is not based only to resolve technical issue, but also to uh, mm, create opportunity and adoption with all customer. In the last 3 years, after the COVID period, this my role is changed. Now with the Copilot, okay, is not only to resolve a specific issue, but for example, to facilitate the adoption. For example, before with Teams, with the Power Platform, and now using Copilot. Then
I see.
I work in two different side every day, from a technical aspect and adoption aspect.
Do you have any contact with the product team?
Depend of the situation, okay? Because for the big customer that have, for example, a critical issue, for example, is a in a business case justification case, I can contact directly the product group to explain the issue and create a workaround. For specific customer, the product group create a change directly for solve specific issue and deploy this change only on the tenant, on the customer tenant.
I
Then
see.
uh, in the other part, I have a contact with a specific group that is called a global black belt. Then is a small group of people based in USA
Yeah,
that have the direct contact with the product group. Then
I see.
I use this interface to have to do some question, okay, about the new feature planned for a specific product and to resolve issue. This group support us not only for technical aspects, but also to improve the Azure and other Microsoft 365 application consumption.
I see. Ina, do you have a question?
Yes,
Go ahead.
the raising hand feature is missing here, like in Teams, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to.
So I need to do it myself. Yeah,
Yeah,
this black belt program is not only for Teams, right? This is for every product, I
No,
think.
with every product, we have
Yeah,
a global black belt team.
awesome.
so it's not only in karate, but
Yeah,
also in Microsoft.
Yeah.
Um,
Mic-
uh,
Microsoft is a very big ecosystem. Then it's necessary when you work in Microsoft, understand the correct way to find the information, to find the people where it's possible to ask, for example, a specific question. Then
Okay. Now,
it's hard, but very, very. I'm exciting every day to do this type of work.
now, for a person that is quite involved in 365, myself and Enea, there's so many apps. There's Teams, there's Power Platform, which has lots of things. There's SharePoint, there's Yama. There's so if we count the amount of
A lot,
apps
yeah.
A lot
in
of
365, how can do you believe a person or consultant should know a bit of everything, or he should know a lot of everything, or maybe it's not? What's the recommended thing in order to what's happening, but also
Be
sometimes it's
successful, no?
yeah.
yeah
Uh, Not exist only one correct answer to this topic, in my opinion. Depend what what do you do from your life. If you want to invest yourself to a vertical technical people, it's necessary for have a focus only with the one one or two product,
yeah
one
like
or two
SharePoint and
application.
Teams could be
Yeah,
together. Yeah.
SharePoint and Teams. But if you preferred, for example, an architect rule, okay, you don't need to know a specific bit for each application, each product, but it's necessary uh, understand the scenario, okay? Because for a specific scenario, today it's possible to resolve one specific scenario in a lot of ways. Suppose, for example, a small sample, create an expense application today. You can create a custom web app using ASP.NET, etc. You can use a SharePoint totally, then customize the list of SharePoint. You can create a Power Platform solution based on database on using SharePoint as database. Then you is today is necessary understand the scenario. Then depend of the rule that you want to have.
I
If
see.
more technical or more
Hmm.
at a high level.
Yeah, I also think
And
that in companies you need all of them. No? You need the people who know who have a general knowledge, maybe in pre-sales, no? Good place, or
Yeah,
maybe as you said in architecture. But then you also need those deep technical experts to do a project in Dynamics, or I don't know, to build a complex Power App and so on. No? So you need
yeah.
both. What depending on each of you, I'm also more of a generalist. No, I don't like to go only deep in one topic because I'm too curious. No, I like to test everything. So depends on the person as well.
Yeah,
but
just one thing. Uh, Today we Microsoft, but not only Microsoft, the same in AWS, Google. The product change every day.
Yeah,
Okay, then it's too difficult create a vertical knowledge based to only one or two products.
they're also very interconnected. Huh? So
Yeah,
if you work with Power Apps and you don't know Power Automate, I don't know if you don't want it to, it's
it's
you
not
need both
possible.
almost. Exactly. Yeah. Also, or Teams and SharePoint. If you don't know SharePoint, working on with Teams is not possible. So it's true.
Marco, I'll ask a last question before Inea starts. But listen, what do you think about citizen developer? Do you think is it really that anyone can do Power Apps or Power Automate, or is it more for developers that it's much easier for them? And because for the very basic things, you can use a template or something, but But if you want to go a bit deeper, it can be very complicated, and it's not really that easy. At least for me, I know for Enea, he's a pro in that. But um, is it really meant as a citizen developer tool, because if anyone does it without knowing what he's doing, he can do either shadow IT, or he can cause things that can, even if it's meant for a big company, it can not really work properly. So what do you think about this concept?
No, I think that citizen development is for all. But okay, I have an idea about one possible application in my organization using Power Up, Automate, uh, Virtual Agent, etc. Okay, it's easy today understand if my idea is a big idea, is a possible winner idea. Okay, then in a short time I can create an application. Okay, but to transform this POC to a mm, an enterprise application, okay,
Yes,
the expense report is always the same possible scenario where we need to interact with IT because we need to manage, for example, the user, okay, external sharing, etc. The dimension, the capacity of dimension to manage an environment, manage a Power Platform environment is not for a citizen developer. Assign a Dataverse rule is not for a citizen developer because it's an operation too complex. Then, okay, for the first layer, okay, citizen development is a good choice, but is not enough for a complex enterprise application.
I see. Inea, what's your point of view about citizen developers? I,
I think
as y- as a person that does all day long things, you're definitely not a citizen developer. You're a pro that um, specifies in these things. And if you compare it to others that just pick it up as a, what do you
yeah.
think about?
So if it depends how you define citizen developer, because in somehow, at least for the people whom I work with, we are all, or we started all as citizen developers, because I did not study in the university Power Platform or Power Apps and
Yeah,
so on. No? So I studied computer science, and what happened is that I gained that general knowledge, and then with that citizen developer theory or practice, I went into this direction, and that is something that can happen anytime, no? with people in the company. So you don't have to study computer science to do that, but it helps. So you might have people in your company who are technically in good shape, no? So they have a general knowledge, and they can become very successful Power Platform developers. So I think it's important to give the power and to help these people try out things and learn new things. So I think the concept of citizen developer is very important, because as you know from almost every Microsoft slide deck, the people who are missing in the technical domain are so many that we cannot support it otherwise. No, we need the citizen developers to start helping and building applications and solutions.
I
But
see.
it's
But
it's as Marco said, no, it's very difficult. It's not that easy to for a citizen developer without the basic IT knowledge, or some a little bit more advanced IT knowledge, to build an enterprise application. No? They have that limit. No? They are limited, of course.
yeah, and of course, there's issues like compliance, information security,
Yeah,
all kinds of things that end user or citizen developer wouldn't be aware, or if he runs, if Power Automate goes into a routine or that never stops, then he can cause lots of things.
yeah.
But Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions for Marco
Yes,
now?
yeah, go on, Marco.
I
So
think that the final title about this question could be Fusion Teams, then IT, citizen developer, etc. All role in the same teams with a specific function.
So maybe a company could build some basic rules and basic users and some train the citizen developer to to know what the boundaries or maybe help them. That could you know help also the end user and also keep the company in control. Yeah, so he
Yeah,
doesn't. Because you could have two people in two departments or maybe in the same department developing the same thing. It's just like um, two users, like in Microsoft List, when you have the possibility to have your own list. So sometimes, each one will make a list instead of
yeah,
sharing one list, and
that's a
each one
communication
does.
problem then.
Yes. But yeah. Okay. Ina, do you have
Yeah,
any?
yes. Yeah,
Oh,
my first question would be how have you seen the Power Platform, particularly Power Apps and Power Automate, since that's your domain, making a difference for businesses or individuals? Do you have like any showcase or any example? Because I am, for example, a live example of how Power Platform changed my career and my path. So, do you have anything to share in that?
um, Power Platform introduce a different pattern about application creation. Then I think that is a revolution, okay? Because in my opinion, Power Platform enable all people today to create a small application, okay? We can define a small application. We have a lot of case in, uh, in our enterprise company in Italy where a Power Platform introduce the opportunity to automate a lot of tasks, okay? And reduce the number of Excel access file present in the past. Then Power Platform create an opportunity to migrate and modernize all this type of application that
Yeah, yeah.
all organizations have. And in other create a new opportunity to improve the knowledge, the career path for each people. Because also from my side, I was born as a classic developer, SharePoint developer, then C Sharp, ASP.NET, etc. But today, uh, it's too difficult for my side switch on the new type of development, TypeScript, JavaScript, etc. And Power Platform create an opportunity for my career, also in Microsoft,
For me as well. Yeah.
to explore a new way to have opportunity to create an application, but not only to I have the opportunity to meet the customer requirements to modernize a lot of application because Excel with macro is another word where we have a lot of work because it's necessary to migrate for security reason, maintenance reason, etc., to modernize this type of application. Then I think that Power Platform, not only app, Power Platform is a revolution, and I think that in the near future, a lot of application will be based on Power Platform, not only in Power Platform, because the classic developer can work, for example, create another type of program, for example, Azure Function, API in Azure, script Azure job, okay? Then not that the classic developer, but needed to change the evolution, because I think that in the future the main architecture will be a front end with Power Platform, automate task using, for example, Power Automate, create report with Power BI, but in backend will be necessary create
You
a
still need,
standard developer, but creating another type of object.
Yeah, definitely. I also think that we will always need the professional developers, and it's a coexistence. I don't think that we replace one each other, or because I sometimes see in the internet where it's not, I don't want to call it hate, but like a rivalry, no, between low code and pro code.
No.
But I think that's complementary, no? So we complement each other, no? So it's you need both. Amy, you are on mute.
No.
Yes, you are on mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
No. Yes,
Perfect.
yes.
I'm saying if you want a web part, a special web part that does something, then low code, no code usually is not possible, and or a special form that you want in SPFX that the Power Apps cannot do. Then, but yeah, of course we need everything. Marco, I have a question. You mentioned Copilot.
Yeah.
What's do you think Copilot will change the way people work? And well, first of all, companies will need to pass the barrier of the licensing issue and the number of users that a company needs to uh, purchase
No.
in order. And but in general, if they buy it, then it will save time and money to companies?
Yeah, I think the answer is yes. I think that Copilot could not change how we work, but can create a lot of cost saving. For example, I love Copilot, for example, for mail summarization. Okay.
For Outlook.
After my holiday, I in the last week I was in holiday, and then last Monday when I reopened my Outlook, my first operation was okay, Copilot, summarize me the last week of mail. Okay, create a bullet point with important task in your opinion, and then Copilot create for me a small summary for one week. The
Can you
same
also
way, a long mail thread, we have a thread from 1 month. Then it's too hard remember was happened in the first mail. Using Copilot, it's possible to have a summarization. Another feature that I love is Copilot to create a PowerPoint presentation. I'm not an artist, okay?
Yes.
And then using Copilot, now it's possible to create easily a PowerPoint presentation based, for example, one Word document. I like this feature.
It gives you a starting point, I think, isn't it? I mean, you need to check the Copilot because
Yeah.
it might give you at the beginning things you don't want, or but and you can ask it to improve, and sometimes it can give you things that are totally wrong. Or how
Mm,
much is it reliable, or you need to check what it provides you.
uh, Depend. For I think that if the question is based on my 365 data, the answer is correct. Okay, because it's based. Obviously, if I use Copilot for generative artificial intelligence, I needed to check what Copilot propose to me. But okay, but it's the same when you use a chat GPT or other um, artificial intelligence
Hmm.
generative mode. Uh, but I think that using Copilot, you have other two big feature. The first is the extensibility. Okay, now we are in the step one of Copilot, but from today, it's possible extend Copilot to external data using Graph
Oh,
Connector, using Power Platform, custom connector, Teams message extension. And then this is awesome because I can, for example, ask to Copilot to integrate my data with, for example, SAP data or Oracle
wow.
Oracle data. And but another feature regarding the Power Platform, uh, for the moment is not too deep, in my opinion, because I can only create a small application based, for example, a database table. But in the near future will be possible also create a more beautiful app. Okay,
I
then
see.
change, for example, the button aspect, the format button label or other control in another particular mode.
I
Then
see.
is a copilot. Then I follow my customer during uh, adoption program, early adoption program, since the last summer, and then for reduce the the time for a particular type of operation is
I see. Enea, I saw for free for the Power Automate, the Copilot is integrated even without paying specifically. Are you have you tried it? Do you
I've
find
I
it
don't
can
I
help?
don't I don't think I don't know if that's Copilot, but I know that on the right hand side you have
Yes.
these questions. I think that is Copilot, but
Yeah.
because before Copilot was announced, you could tell Power Automate to create you a flow by writing it in the text. You know? So, for
yeah,
example, create me an approval process from
I
SharePoint and so on and
see.
so forth. Huh? And that was also automatically done. So I have not checked yet where it started being Copilot and where it was something else before. Okay, maybe
I
Marco, you can say
and
something
there's a
more.
new interface, right? That there's a new
It has a
layout and
new
yeah.
layout, yeah, the new editor in Power Automate. Yeah,
and all of the configuration is totally different. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
we are getting used to. Let's say.
yeah.
I was a fan
Luckily,
of the old one, but yeah,
luckily, I found the place where you can switch back to the classical in case you want, because
yeah. Let's see
sometimes,
for how long. But it's inevitable, so it's not. The earlier you get used to the new one, the better.
yeah, it's just like the new Outlook that you need to get used
Yeah,
to it before it will be irreversible.
but
Also, I
will
also
be
have a question.
Will be released
Go
the
on, Mark.
Copilot also for the classic Outlook, I suppose next month, in February or March.
Okay.
Next month, will it be mandatory? Or the new Outlook?
No, it will be Copilot will be released also for the old Outlook. I think
Ah,
in the next 2 months.
are you
Ah,
talking about Outlook desktop or Outlook web?
Desktop.
Oh,
I
I see
think I
client.
think
Yeah.
web is always the new one.
Yes.
Yeah, in the
Yes.
web is
True.
only the new one Outlook.
Uh,
Yeah.
Because for the moment, Microsoft not aligned the two version of Outlook. Then Copilot will be released also for the current Outlook.
Okay. Ina, do you want to ask additional questions?
yes, yes, I have another topic. So, Marco, I know that you are continuously involved in community activities. I remember last year I was at a Power Platform conference in Dublin, and I
Yeah.
joined one of your sessions twice because the first time it didn't work, if you remember. that was I was feeling so sad because I was looking forward to your presentation. Then we had to go on the next day, I think. No?
Yeah,
Was it on the next
yeah,
day?
sure. Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
and yeah, but it went. It still went awesome. So, can you talk about the significance of community engagement in the tech industry? How has your involvement impacted your own growth and understanding this platform? So, maybe because I'm also interested in, I think, Amy as well, as content creators.
I think that the community is mandatory. Today is mandatory. It's not possible to work today in a technical world without community, because as we mentioned before, it's not possible to have a vertical deep knowledge for each product, for
Yeah,
each application. Then sharing is caring, sharing is power. Then
Yeah.
the community, I can read, for example, Ami blog, or follow your video to understand a particular aspect, or for example, Reza Dorani for the Power Platform, other Chris Ward for Teams, there's an opening for Teams. There are a lot of powerful
Yeah.
community member. Then I cannot, for me, it's not possible imagine my work without community.
yeah,
Okay, for me, participate to a different event is a pleasure, because I'm not me that take knowledge, but is the sharing. I have the opportunity to understand the sentiment, to understand what people realized using a particular tech product. Then I think that community is all for my work.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think listen, I think the tech community of Microsoft, I think it's not too big, but it might be very big, yes, but it's a feeling as if it's small and warm and supportive. And listen, I enjoy people are so nice and people are so helpful, and yes, and I think um, it's really a pleasure to be part of this community. People don't
Yeah,
judge you, and you can ask stupid questions, and you can ask smart questions, and people are very helpful to, and that's really and yeah, I think Microsoft cannot do without the community, and the community cannot do with Microsoft, because
yeah, sure.
Microsoft is the product, but the experience and what's happening in the business, only the community can know best, and they can bring back feedback on bugs, on improvements, on well, there's never bugs. It's a
Yeah.
feature, yeah.
No, but I think that my day is composed by 24 hours, not more. Then it's not possible read a lot of material, follow webinar. I need to have a focal point for each technology where I know that it's possible to find the answer to my problem.
Mhm.
Then I think that community is necessary. When I have a new colleague that ask me where is possible to find the material about this topic. Okay, no find in internet, but follow this specific group of a person.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Enea, where do you get all of your information? As you have a YouTube channel and blog. Does it come from customers that you try to solve an issue, or is it something that you just follow channels or Twitter,
Well,
LinkedIn? Yeah.
yeah. So at the beginning was mainly from my daily work. So when I was working on a specific topic and I was looking for a solution, and if it was not easy to find a solution online, but I did find a solution somehow by maybe
Yeah.
picking something here, something there. I know that maybe the next one will have to go through the same process and search as
Yes.
much as I did. So I put them together and made a short video. But lately many of the ideas come from comments. No, people are asking the comments questions, and
Right.
I tell them, okay, reach out to me on LinkedIn because I can communicate more. You can share the screenshots, so on, more than on the YouTube channel video comments. So and then they reach out to me on LinkedIn, ask a question, and I say, okay, before going and helping only one person, I take some more time and do a video so that I can help more people, not because I think many will have the same question. So that's how it's a mix. No? It's a mix of both.
Yeah, I think the community also helps Microsoft give use cases, and if there's basic information of what's happening in for the product, then the community can demonstrate it and think of things that can make it easier for the end user to understand if it's too technical,
Yeah,
and also to implement. So it's and I think each one, Microsoft also, I mean, sometimes I look for something and either it's too hard for me to understand, but if I go and follow, I don't know, Daniel Anderson or somebody else, or then I find it very easy to understand. So yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Yeah. So we have we're reaching the end of the session. Would you like to ask some questions, and then I'll ask, and then we can uh, close the meeting of
Yeah,
the.
I think I had prepared a couple of questions, but I think I will ask only one since the
Okay.
most important one. I think so. Based on your experience, Marco, what are some common challenges new companies or users are facing when they adopt the Power Platform tools at the beginning? So, have you based on your experience the most common difficulties and issues that they have when they adopt the Power Platform?
The Power Platform adoption have another topic that is the management.
Management.
It's
Okay.
not create an application and automate because it's too easy, okay? But it's manage. We have a lot of company that, for example, have only a default environment. Then we spend a lot of time to explain why it's not enough to have only one environment, but it's necessary to create a lot of environment, etc., etc., etc. Then the management is the blocker for Power Platform adoption. Okay, but otherwise it's easy to introduce because it's not a complex environment because not development environment is necessary. I use the browser, no deployment, no, it's not necessary publish the app. Then it's environment. It's easy, but it's important that the whole company understand the importance of the management, and not only for the environment, data loss prevention policy, or to prevent all security issue. And the second aspect that I think that is important is to understand that Power Platform not work with security data. Okay, if I can write on, for example, in a SharePoint list, it's not because the Power App enable me to write on a SharePoint list, but it's because I have the permission in SharePoint to write in this list.
Yeah.
Then
I have actually two last questions. One is I'm very curious. I've been hearing about the new SharePoint Premium. Can you say in a couple of sentences what the hell is the Premium SharePoint? Is that something to do with SharePoint with Copilot, or is it a development environment? Can you give a very short summary, so just so people know what to expect in
is
future?
I think that the SharePoint Premium is another revolution for SharePoint world for the different document and content management. For example, you can use a lot of features based on syntax, content assembly, content understanding, a signature in the future, a signature translation, OCR, recognizer, etc. But not only for another important aspect is for SharePoint management. For example, today you have the opportunity to have a lot of report about sharing, okay, sharing, but create a policy to manage a lot of sites because as you know, today you have when you create a team, you have a SharePoint site. When you create a YAML community, you have a SharePoint site, etc. Then it's important to manage the number of SharePoint sites that you have. In fact, in SharePoint Premium, you have the backup and archive feature.
Yes, that's
Then
new. That's
it
new.
can
Yeah.
reduce the cost of storage. Last, using SharePoint Premium in the near future, you will have the opportunity to create a particular application based on a pillar. You can create a document management application without a user interface.
Without
Without
SharePoint UI. Yes, you
without
could.
it's
It will be
only
like a
SharePoint
database.
only as a
Yeah.
storage.
Uh-huh.
It's a new
Interesting.
pattern to create application. It's not in SharePoint Premium, but can be will be a big feature. Is a SharePoint data graph connector. Is another way to extract information from your SharePoint site. And
When is it supposed to be available to
gra-
GA?
data connector for a lot of data set is already available in GA.
Mm.
And in the next future, you will have also Copilot for SharePoint to
Oh, that
create a news page automatically using
wow,
Copilot, create a new
wow.
page based on a document Word, and
Oh
you
my God,
can extract information from a document present in a document library. For example, it's possible
amazing.
to ask to Copilot to summarize one document present in a document library, or create content based to other content that you have. This
And
will be the
SharePoint
future for SharePoint.
Copilot, will that be premium or is that part of the Copilot license?
I don't know at the moment. It's not
Okay.
defined at this
Mhm.
this step. But regarding SharePoint, SharePoint Premium was announced this week that it's possible enable all feature, and you have a lot of credits to try, for example, content understanding, e-signature, etc.
I
I
see.
posted it yesterday in LinkedIn.
Yeah, listen, the reason I invited you because you're amazing. Also, as a person, because now I got to know you, and also the knowledge that you share is I follow you because you really provide a variety of information, and I understand you also speak and really I think you are influencer in the Microsoft community. O- and I really I'm so happy that I got to know you and you accepted to join this um, interview. And of course, Inea, we I think I hope we can do it again with um, lots of great guests, and because I think it might be something very interesting. My last question, Marco, can you tell us what do you do besides high tech? What do you do? Do you have any what you do on your free time?
Uh, I love
Formula Uno.
Eat pizza?
travel.
No.
I travel a lot, and the sports are my. I invest in sports. I
What type of
play the
sport?
football
Football.
mm, uh, since 10 years ago, because I, I'm 50 years old.
Yeah.
Then I played football, but now I like to see match for football and basketball. I'm very
Ah,
passionate about sport, all sport in general.
yeah. That's a great change from yeah. Ina, what do you do for on your free time? I know you have a new family.
Yeah, my daughter is now yeah 1.5 years old, so I don't have that much free time. But when she goes asleep now around 7:30, I usually go to my sport club here.
a gym.
I've been doing martial arts since I was like eight
Wow.
years old.
Yeah.
So that's yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I do kick. I started with karate, yeah, but I tried Krav Maga as well.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
I do kickboxing, boxing. So that's
Oh,
that's my passion.
but
Yeah.
But I'm
I know
now
very
you.
very peaceful.
now with Copilot, you will have more time to dedicate
Yeah,
to your family and the sports.
exactly. So Copilot can bring my daughter to bed and then do my work, and I can go to
Yeah,
sports.
Can Copilot do coffee?
yeah.
I hope so.
Not. Okay, so I want to thank all of you, Inea as a co-host and Marco as a honorable guest, and I hope that we can meet, and if not, then virtually we will continue being in contact. And thank you for accepting to join this interview. Um, I really had fun. So
No, it's my pleasure meet all of you, and you have other opportunity in the future. I'm available. Sure, no
cool.
problem for me.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
so thank you
Thanks a
very
Have a
lot.
much,
nice
and
evening.
see you.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
everyone.
Bye.